Welcome to another game cast by Gwen and Laser. This is going to be game 2 of set 4 of Complexity versus Check6 in the ESEA. This is Complexity's Drewbie as the blue Terran up in the upper right hand corner, and in the lower left hand corner we have Check6's Mystic as the red Zerg. It's a little bit of color switch from last game, but excited to see what both players do here. Of course, loser picks the map, so Mystic did choose Shakira's Plateau here, which I think there's a couple good things to note about this map. One is this really easy to secure natural, and why don't you take us away a little bit with this matchup?
Again, another TVZ cross position, so Mystic's obviously going to be happy. I'm not exactly too sure, outside of the reason for the easy to secure natural, why Mystic would choose this. I feel like this map is really good for tanks, and I've always felt it that way even since release. Even before they changed the destructible rocks over here on the side of the bases that are now gone. They're over by this ledge. There's just so many like up to down and shrubbery areas where you can have tanks waiting to attack any type of Ling, Bane, or so. I don't know. I mean, maybe Mystic practices this with some Terran players. I mean, we have a lot of Terran players on Check6. He could be practicing with Maker or Burr or just anyone. So maybe he's got something that he feels comfortable with. But Drewbie's a game up, so he could be doing something crazy. Like I've said, usually when you're a game up, you try to do something cheesy or something fast. I'm not too sure if that's what Drewbie's into, or if Drewbie just plays standard all the time. I don't follow him all that often. I'm not always downloading the Drewbie replay pack, so I don't know how cheesy he can get. But who knows? Maybe so far it's an indication of the same thing, of a wall-off one base expand like he did last game. No gas, nothing too crazy. So I don't think we're going to have any type of 2 racks all in and run across the map or anything nuts. But, both players, again, both good players. Mystic, obviously, like you said, easy to secure expansion, so he goes ahead and he takes it. And it's a good indication that Drewbie's going to do the same thing.
Yeah, it certainly is, and I like this play out of Drewbie, though. He gets the wall off before the drone can get in with this cross position, and basically what that ensures him is that, regardless of whether, he's going for that one base expand or not, Mystic doesn't know. Like, he has to assume that he's going Blue Flame Hellion. He has to assume that he's going 6 racks all in like TLO. He has to explain, expect a whole wide range of builds. He could expect that there's a proxied rack somewhere and it's going to be a proxy 2 racks, but he just doesn't know until he sees this Nexus, or the command center rather, go down. He has no idea. So he's going to get here, Drewbie's going to get here, and he's going to get his scouting information, see the hatch already down, going to get picked off by these 2 Lings, will come up into the main, probably going to make it up. Oh, there he does. See the pool, see the gas still being mined. So no speed on the way yet, and the hatch creating another queen. But as far as what Drewbie's doing, he's pretty in the dark.
Yeah, you know what? As soon as you said 6 racks all in, I started laughing on this side, because I actually have a secondary Smurf account where I just do like really stupid shit, because in the season 1 of the ladder, it actually showed like how many losses you had and like all this stuff, and I was like let me just I had extra money laying around, so I bought a Smurf account. And one day I did that. I was playing Terran. I was like, I wonder how many racks I can support, like off one base, like efficiently. And then I would just do that all the time. And my buddies would be like, what are you doing? And I was like, dude, 6 racks. And then I'd be like, 6 proxy racks. Like, you just put them right outside the base. And everyone's like, dude, that's stupid as hell. And then when TLO did it, I was like, that's it. I've influenced the pros with my awesome strategies. I can retire from StarCraft. So 6 racks is definitely a favorite of mine, but again, it doesn't seem like Drewbie's the type of player to do anything too cheesy. He's getting his factory. There is a reactor on this barracks, however, so maybe he's just gonna get a couple Hellions, and Hellions are good. You get good speed out of them, and he's gonna be using them, I think, not so much for damage to the drones, but more so just to get across the map and continue scouting.
Yeah, I mean, of course, if you look at what Zerg has, at this point in the game, they've got Zerglings, and Zerglings are not great against Hellions, especially if the Hellions are microed. But we are going to see, looks like this barracks is going to go ahead and make a tech lab and a starport on the way, so we might be seeing, like a kind of an old style. I mean, it used to be, Terran would open up with this 1-1-1 where they get the Hellions, then they get the Banshee, and then they switch the add-on and get the Thor, and they do this huge push. Again, that was another build that was popularized by TLO. Looks like we are going to see some Hellions come out. I wonder if this is going to be for a Banshee, or if he's just going to use this for regular barracks upgrades. He could go either way.
Cloak Banshee would be pretty productive. I'm like looking around to make sure to see if there's any counter to the Cloak Banshee right now. The lair did finish, so we could have an Overseer eventually, but there is no AA. There are no Spore Crawlers down yet. There's nothing besides the Queens, and there's only 2, and the creep is not connected, so it'd be kind of hard to get the, if he could actually get the Banshee all the way across the map, could do a lot of damage. But I don't know. Do you really think that's what we're gonna see? Nope. Switch.
We did see a swap, so it is gonna be. It looks like on the reactor they're getting a medevac and a Viking at the same time. A lot of Terran players forget you can do that, but Banshee I think would have been a great choice. Look at how vulnerable the Spire is right behind the mineral patch. They're easy to pick off. But no, gonna go ahead and poke with those Hellions, gonna pull right on back, taking his 2 gases at his expansion, and look at the production tab for DrewbieG. A 3rd command center on his way, getting a armory up as well as an engineering bay. Really wants to focus on those upgrades, probably wants to get a Thor as well. A 2nd Eng bay going down, so going for the double ups, and it looks like a 4 Hellion drop going to be coming out. These Overlords from Mystic might spot it, but it might be able to get in and do some damage. Spire about to pop though.
Look at DrewbieG's money, man. He's keeping it under. Like, he's keeping it under 100, 200, like, all the time. I have yet to see him go over 250 mineral in like the last 60 seconds. It's insane. He is spending away. His production tab is really kicking in, and he's doing a lot, man. He really is. And there goes that drop. It did go past that Overlord, but I don't think there's gonna be anything to stop it, man.
I don't think he spotted it. I think it snuck right past, and it looks like the Queen finally eating away at the drop, dropping those Hellions in. They don't have Blue Flame, but the mutas are out in time. Not going to get too many drone kills. Probably going to get cleaned up. Does kill a few drones, though, so I'm not sure if that was worth it because he lost the medevac. No, did not lose the medevac. Will lose the medevac, though, definitely. But, of course, now he knows there's mutas out on the field. He's got time to build turrets because he was aggressive and throwing down quite a few turrets, but we've seen in the past that it's definitely needed.
Yeah, better safe than sorry. The only thing he doesn't know is he doesn't know that this 3rd is almost done over here on the left-hand side for Mystic. But he's still in a good position. DrewbieG's, he's behind in the food count, but he is in a good position. I
certainly agree. It's very hard to attack into a Terran base. As a Zerg player, I can tell you so many times I've had a supply lead, bigger army, but just can't attack into that position because of bunkers, because of siege tanks. But it looks like we see just Thors coming out of these factories right now. Has cut Marine production by a little bit, but just simply can't afford it. That fast 3rd, is taking its economic toll, and that Thor is going to chase those Mulas away, almost taking one out, getting into the red health. But we do need to see. I'm sure we'll see that command center get floated down at some point soon.
Yeah, he's actually getting 2 more Thors, so he's gonna have 3 Thors, which is gonna be that's really good. That really stops mutas, man.
Yeah, certainly when you want to get rid of mutalists, you make some Thors and Marines.
Yeah, that's it,
pretty good.
I heard that is in the Terran strategy guide.
The Terran strategy guide from Prima. You open that up and it says when your opponent makes mutalisks, you make Thors and Marines.
Yeah, and Marines. Thor's, but yeah, I don't think you really need more than 3. I think he's probably going to just go all into siege tank production at that point.
He has started tank production at this point.
Yeah.
We're going to see a little bit of a mutalist poke in, but repelled by the turrets and by that Thor pretty quickly. Has to keep his mutas spread, which is not what you want to do as a Zerg player. Not at all.
Yeah, the only thing is, it's not a big deal that the Zerg is 1 base up. I feel like Zerg should be always 1 base up against a Protoss or a Terran, so it's not like DrewbieG's in a bad spot because he's 1 base down. He is really saturated. Again, Terran do get the mules. He has good energy on both his orbitals. He could probably get a 3rd quite easily. There's just 1 link down over here for some scouting purposes, but he can push out and do a lot of damage right here.
It looks like the 3rd, though, is en route. So I see the command center landing queued up. And these mutalisks are going to try and poke into the natural once the move out happens. And look at this. DrewbieG knows it's coming, decides, I'm going to drop a bunch of extra turrets, but the mutalisks beat him to it, and they're going to force a pullback with some of these forces at the very least. He's going to lose that refinery, probably both refineries at the natural, but these Marines are going to come here and chase those mutalisks away because, as I don't know if you watched the latest MLG, but saw Idra lose like 40 mutalisks to like 10 Marines 2 games in a row.
Are you serious? Wow.
I'm sure he was not pleased after those games.
Did not catch that. You know what actually does surprise me out of Mystic? He did not take the base right outside his main and natural right here.
You know, I like that choice. I understand that choice a lot as a Zerg because it's very easy for Terran to clump some siege tanks up in this choke by the Xel'Naga and shell your base, and that's a situation you really don't want to be in.
Is it safer to take this fourth all the way in the top left than to take that as a fourth? Like, I feel like he has to get so far to stop any type of drops or anything like that. I don't know. You are the Zerg player, so I mean, your opinion's probably more valid here than mine. I really don't play Zerg all that often. So.
And it looks like an attack by Mystic, though, moving on in. If Drewbie micros this well, he should be okay. Those Banelings going down to the Thors and the Siege Tanks before they could do much damage and forced to pull back. I feel like that was a really poorly executed attack. He didn't really lose that much. Drewbie didn't really lose that much, and pretty much those Banelings went down without doing damage.
They hit one good chunk of Marines, but yeah, I think Drewbie came out on top again. It seemed to be a lot more in his favor. I mean, these mutas are still going to take out this refinery. They're going to hit a couple mules, which is good. I think what Mystic needs to do is he needs to go into like that annoyance mode where you just kind of fly around with the mutas and pick shit off, like little add-ons, missile turrets, couple workers here and there, and he needs to get some beefy units. He doesn't need to go like straight to Brood Lords and getting ultras, but you know, I mean, he's getting infestors now, which is good. Maybe he should get maybe like a few roaches or something, get away from these speedlings because there are a lot of tanks, but he needs to get something just a little beefier, and stop relying so much on the muta speedling, because tanks are going to just blow these things away, and there's so much AA at this point. There's so many Thors and just missile turrets everywhere. The mutas aren't as effective as they were 5 or 10 minutes ago.
A little bit of a counterattack here in the natural of Drewbie. He's going to clean that up just fine, though, and producing a lot of speedlings, and this push is moving out, and this is a scary push out of Drewbie. He has a lot of tanks in here, and Infestor goes down without getting any fungals down at all, leading with the tanks, you know, because of that threat of Infestors. A little bit of fungal going down on the tanks, but thankfully tanks are not Marines, so they do not die instantly to fungal. And all the Mutalisks going down to Marines and Thors. That's a huge blow, and these tanks are in a great position to stop any type of counterattack. Marines pushing up into the third, and I don't know how he's going to hold this.
I don't think he's going to lose the third and most likely the fourth. He's going to have to D-up in his natural and D-up quick. That was a really good play. You basically using the siege tank as heavy armored marauders.
And the GG. So we do see the third went down. You know, Drewbie playing excellently in that game, especially with that move out. It was very well timed as soon as 2-2 finished, and Mystic was just not prepared for that at all.
Yeah, so basically what happens is now, unfortunately, Mystic loses that series, so congratulations to Drewbie. I'm not going to go over what the final score of the whole series was in case anyone watched this video first. Please go back and check out all the other VODs we did cast, and you will see who won the clan war. And congratulations to the winners and each individual player. I really liked it. It was a good series overall. All the games were pretty good, and I don't want to say favorites, but I think Rise's games were really
I really liked Complexity's Rise. You know, he had some great Zerg play. You know, it was a bummer how the outcome of some of those games ended up. You know, there were some errors on his part, but I thought his ideas were really good, and I would like to see. You know, like I said, you know, when we were casting those games, those are the kind of ideas that someone like Nesty sits down, gets out his abacus, his notebook, and he like moves some beads around. He's like, yes, that timing is excellent, and then he just executes it perfectly. And I think the thoughts were there. The abacus was stolen from Nesty, but you know, the hand control and some of the micro was not there for Rise. You know, caused some unfortunate events in those games. Not to spoil how many there were or what the final result was, but some great play out of him, great play out of everyone who played in this series. I mean, we got to see Maker, we got to see Drewbie from the Terran front, we got to see Cats and Mystic and McKenjan, you know, and Shadow as well. You know, an excellent Protoss player from xsixMystic, but a great series overall. You know, keep checking back at our YouTube. You know, to see what we upload next. We will be uploading more games from these clan wars in the ESEA. But I mean, this was the last match of ESEA right before playoffs. So we will be seeing playoffs and then finals out of ESEA. Look for Laser and myself. This is Gwyn to be casting those. Check us out on Twitter. I am GR Starcraft. That is G and then R and then Starcraft. And Laser is Laser.
It's Laser, ITZLAZER.
It's Laser on Twitter. Also, of course, follow us at Check Six, and then I'd like to let Laser give a shout out to some of our sponsors at Check Six.
Oh yeah, definitely. TT Esports, Gamer Uniforms, End of Reality Servers, just everybody. I feel like I'm missing one. Am I missing one?
Maybe.
I might be. That's very unprofessional of me.
Check it out, Laser. Check it out.
I don't know. No, I don't think. I might be. I'm so unprofessional. I don't know. I did what I got. I got End of Reality Servers, right? Gamer Uniforms. And then we got
TT Esports.
TT Esports. Why do I
big
feel like
one.
I'm... Oh, dude, Pure Talk. How did I forget?
Pure Talk. Of
Pure
course,
Talk.
Pure Talk is the server that we're using. We're using Pure Talk servers right now to cast this game. So, it's great to have support from all these companies. Remember, guys, these are the companies that help support esports. If you want to support esports, you need to help support these companies.
Definitely. Can't believe I forgot that, dude. We're just sitting here. It must be just because it's late at night for me. Oh, well, I'm sorry, Pure Talk. I'm so sorry.
We do love you. We do.
All right.
And with that, we're going to go ahead and bounce out. Again, check us out in all those places. Make sure you look for future matches.